Hello, good morning, students. Have a nice day. Today, in the connection of the previous session, editing a text, the very important thing is going to be discussed, and that is cohesion. Cohesion, the concept of cohesion is very important so far as the editing of his text is concerned. I am Dr. S.R.BHARGAVA Associate Professor, Department of English. What is cohesion and what is coherence? How are they similar or contradictory? First of all, I introduce you the concept coherence and cohesion. Both are cohesion and coherence are essential for adding readability in idea communication. They are very necessary for communication. How to connect the readability and idea of connection. Coherence is about the unity of the ideas, and cohesion the unity of structural elements. So understand the concept. What is coherence? Coherence is the unity of the ideas, and cohesion the unity of structural elements. How we connect the sentence or how we make the sentence structure, that is cohesion, and how we make the ideas united, that is coherence. One way to do this is through the use of cohesive devices. So we have to use the devices in cohesion, and these devices help the unity of structural elements and the unity of the ideas. There are certain devices which are called cohesive devices. Logical bridges, repetition. Logical bridges, repetition. Verbal bridges, synonyms. Linking words and clear back referencing. So logicality in the ideas are used as bridge between the sentence structures. Logical bridges are known as repetition. Verbal bridges are known as synonyms, linking words and clear back reference. If these type of devices are missing in the text, it not only becomes more difficult to read the text, but also to understand its contents, since the reader must guess how the various parts of the paragraph or text are connected, which will involve rereading sentences or larger sections more than once. So, in the absence of these devices, we can't understand the contents of a text, and the parts of paragraph, how they are connected, become very difficult. So we are always continuing rereading sentences, larger sections more than once. In the following paragraph, we will see how to connect ideas, sentences, paragraphs using a variety of cohesive devices. Logical bridges, they run, they go parallel while construction. Carry the same idea of topic over from sentence to sentence. Carry the same idea of a topic over from sentence to sentence. That is, successive sentences are constructed in parallel form. Successive sentences, one by one, they are formed in a parallel form. For example, in the first stage, an idea can be generated by using a mind gap and some discussion. In the next stage, a clear plan of action can be produced in the form of a list. Verbal bridges, back references, linking words. There are keywords, phrases might be repeated in number of sentences, synonym utilized instead to avoid exact repetition. So here the repetition of sentences work as logical facility. There are three stages to the pre-writing success. one to effect the generation of ideas, another to facilitate an action plan. The third to research the information to be included in your text. The first is an idea can be generated by using a mind map and some discussion. So keywords, phrases, they might be repeated in a number of sentences, synonym or utilized in place of avoiding exact repetition. There are three writing process. There are three writing process. Three steps to the pre-writing process. One to effect the generation of ideas. We can say that there are three writing effects. One to effect the generation of ideas. Another to facilitate an action plan. And the third to research the information to be included in your text. So in the first is an idea can be generated by using a mind map and some discussion. Words, phrases, to link ideas between sentences for much transition. As shown below can be used. In the paragraph below, words and phrases that serve to increase the coherence of the paragraphs are highlight and underlined. With verbal bridges, there are keywords, there are synonyms, then can be repeated. Pronouns can replace nouns and transition words, so they can be used. In the given paragraph below, there are words and phrases that serve to increase the coherence of all the paragraphs are highlighted and underlined because they work as the unity of ideas. They increase the coherence of the paragraph. As this is a sample of exam, this sample paragraph indicates coherence and cohesion in a paragraph is established by combining more than one device. In the following diagram, we see that there are three components to a typical modern catalytic converter. One to effect the reduction of nitrogen oxides, another to facilitate the oxidation of carbon oxide, and the third to maintain the correct current. The following examples are used for science student, how they use catalyst in a place. So this is an example only for practical and experimental sense. In the right side, we see that the topic sentence introduces the three stages which are then explained in more detail. Verbal bridge, the second sentence includes a keyword reduced, linking our idea to previous sentence through. So the same thing has been discussed earlier. Next, a more direct way of emphasizing the inherent logic of paragraph is through the use of linking words and phrases which mark transitions within and between sentences. Logicality in a paragraph. A more direct way of emphasizing the inherent logic of a paragraph is through the use of linking words and phrases. Linking words and use of phrases are very important because they connect the logical unity of ideas. The table below gives a sample of such linking words and groups them based on the correction they illustrate indicate. Example explanation. For example, for instance, that is, in other words. They are similar phrases or synonyms. For example, explanation. Addition, moreover, furthermore, in addition, additionally, and. Resultation, so, consequently, thus, as a result, for this reason, owing to this, therefore. Attitude, naturally, Certainly, fortunately, undoubtedly, strange enough, of course, contrast and comparison. However, nevertheless, on the contrary, in contrast, on the one hand, on the other hand, in comparison. These emphasizing the words in a paragraph correct the logicality in sentences because they illustrate the connection of ideas. There are other examples: time related, sum related, order, back reference. At first, next, then, later, in the end. They suggest the timing, how the reader, how the writer uses them. Summary, finally, in conclusion, in short, to sum up. Order, firstly, secondly, thirdly, lastly, finally. Back reference, this, that, these, those, such. Back reference is another effective device for creating coherence. Back reference, this, that, these, those, and such. But this device must be used carefully because it can cause confusion rather than create clarity. Consider whether or not the use of back reference is clear in the following sentence. Example: plagiarism is a recurrent problem which is considered an important matter in university education. Commerce is no exception to that and therefore has a strict policy regarding how it should be dealt with. Remarks: the back references are vague and bring up questions such as what does that refer to? Be more specific. That could be this situation. It could be the issue of plagiarism. It is perfectly acceptable to use back referencing, just be sure to make it clear. One way to do this, as exemplified in the remarks above, is to add a summary word to the back reference, for example. So, back referencing, the use of this, that, these, those, such, because they ensure to make the clarity. They are perfectly acceptable. One way to do this is exemplified in the remarks above is to add a summary word to back reference. This situation where situation is the summary word. Using a summary word specifies the back reference, often making it much clearer. So we have understood the back reference, the logical unity, the coherence, cohesion, examples of timing, summary, order, back reference. We have understood the examples for example, explanation, addition, result, region, attitude, contrast, comparison. How the transitions of sentences, of words, phrases, linking words can be used, and how they used as bridges, logical bridges, verbal bridges, the effect of cohesion and coherence, how they help in connecting ideas. The concept of coherence and cohesion have been successfully sought out, that they are used for adding readability, the ability to read the paragraph, and ideas communication, how the unity of ideas, the unity of sentence structures can be emphasized, used. So the topic of today, editing a text, emphasizing cohesion and coherence, has been discussed successfully. Thanks students for your nice listening, cooperation, coordination. Thanks again and have a nice day, year for the upcoming examination. Thanks.